Wearing face masks is a new normal for almost all of us around the world right now, and it sure does take some getting used to, not just for us, but for our kids as well. When our children see people wearing face masks, this can be very stressful for them, and to get them to wear one at all can be quite challenging. Hi everyone, welcome back to AIMS Online, where we share tips and tricks on how to help our beautiful little ASD children to adapt to our world the best way that they can. On today's video, we will be sharing 5 tips on how you can help your child to wear and keep a mask on during this COVID-19 pandemic. Let's read a question to help us see what parents are currently struggling with at home. Dear AIMS Online, my son is really having a hard time keeping the mask on for more than a minute. He also doesn't even like us to wear the face mask, as he cannot really see if we are smiling behind them. We do love taking him out with us for walks, but it's hard since he won't let us put a mask on him. How can we help him to understand that he has to put a mask on to be safe? Brian's dad. Hi Brian's dad, thank you so much for your question. I'm sure this is something that most parents are struggling with at home as well. The reason why some kids are afraid of face masks might be that really young children depend on faces and facial expressions for signals that they look out for or signals that they need to make them feel safe. A face mask hides half of a person's face, and so a child can't really see a friendly face or a familiar face that puts them at ease. And because of this, it's much harder for the child to feel safe and more easy for them to feel afraid. The good news is we can ease our children slowly and gently into the new normal of wearing masks, and even the youngest child will gradually learn to be comfortable with something that first seemed scary. Firstly, it's important to be honest with our children so that they know that this is not just a normal time that we're going through. We have to be extra careful and safe, and everyone has to play their part in being safe. We have spoken about social stories many times, only because social stories are one of the best ways of explaining something to a child in an age-appropriate way. And so a social story is a great start to explain the need for face masks. You can include clear instructions and information such as there's a germ going around called the coronavirus and it's making people sick. Now, everyone has to be really careful, and it's not just here where we live, but it's all around the world. Your social story can go further and explain that a face mask or a face shield can help us to stay safe from the coronavirus. And you can even add some examples of your child's family and friends who are currently wearing face masks. And you can further explain that just because a person is wearing a face mask, it does not mean that they are not them anymore. It is still them, and we know this because we can still see their hair, their eyes, their shoulders, and even their legs. You can watch our video on social stories if you still need more ideas on how to really individualize your social story. Don't forget to read the story frequently to your child until they grasp and understand its content. Now that can be a way of preparing your child mentally for the change. However, we still need to make this change practical because we need to normalize the use of face masks to our kids. Let's look at 5 tips that you can try at home with your kids to get them to wear and get used to face masks. Number 1, practice wearing the mask in the house. This will look different for almost everyone, and for some kids, you might want to incorporate some play just to divert the focus from the mask itself to the play. You can play doctor and nurses with dolls and teddy bears and have the children wear the mask while they're seeing their patients. This will be really cute. You can even reenact some scenes from movies, just like how our therapist is doing here with her child.
When you go out with your friends, what do you need to wear?
A mask.
Good job!
Number 2, create the face mask together. Now, if you can sew, that is perfect. Have the children pick out their preferred fabric and designs, and if you can use something that they already love, such as a familiar fabric or sheet around the house, this might give them that sense of safety and familiarity. Otherwise, you can get face masks and decorate them together with your kids. They will love this, and hopefully they will look forward to wearing them. Number 3, encourage your child to wear the face mask. Here, you can even use a reward chart and reward your child as they attempt to keep their mask on for longer and longer. Then at the end of the day, you can look at the reward charts to review how long they were able to keep the mask on. You can even give them a treat for this as a reward. Number 4, practice, practice, and more practice. Practice wearing the mask and taking it off as much as you can at home. Again, if you must, play games around this. Maybe try to see who can put the mask on the fastest and who can keep the mask on the longest in the house. All of these are great opportunities to increase familiarity with the face mask. By increasing contact time with the face mask and fun memories around it, hopefully by the time you want to take your kids out, they'll be looking forward to putting them on. And lastly, have a few extra masks for them. This is not a must, but if they want one for every day of the week or for every mood that they're feeling that day, you might want to have one for that. And this will be quite interesting as they'll be able to mark what mood they're feeling that day or what day of the week it is. And those were our 5 tips on how to help your child to wear face masks during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, before I go, I want you to remember the 3 C's for any successful implementation plan: child-specific and interest-based all the time, clear and concise instructions and execution, and lastly, consistency is key. Goodbye, everyone. I will see you really soon for more fun and easy tips to do around the home environment. Bye-bye.